Hello everyone, I am Anushka Pandit, a postgraduate Media and Communication Studies student. Welcome to my podcast on intellectual property. We are going legal today. While it might sound very law and order to you, it actually is a very interesting topic to learn about, and more than that, it is an important topic to know about, since finance is pretty much everybody's source of tension. So let us begin with a quick fun fact. Glenn T. Seaborg was a Nobel Prize winning American chemist. He is the sole inventor of two patents, numbered US 3156523A and US 3161462A, assigned to the Atomic Energy Commission of the United States. They have perhaps the shortest independent claims ever. The claims are element 95 and element 96, respectively. If you are not familiar with some science and were given these claims, you would perhaps not even know what has been invented. If you were told that they were chemical elements, you would be perplexed because naturally occurring chemical elements are discovered and hence are outside the purview of patents. Alright, I have hopefully awakened your attention towards the topic at hand. Let us dig into understanding what intellectual property is. Intellectual property is a broad, categorical description for the set of intangible assets owned and legally protected by a company from outside use or implementation without consent. An intangible asset is a non physical asset that a company owns. The concept of intellectual property relates to the fact that certain products of human intellect should be afforded the same protective rights that apply to physical property, which are called tangible assets. Most developed economies have legal measures in place to protect both forms of property. Companies are diligent when it comes to identifying and protecting intellectual property because it holds such high value in today's increasingly knowledge based economy. Extracting value from intellectual property and preventing others from deriving value from it is an important responsibility for any company. Intellectual property can take many forms. Although it is an intangible asset, intellectual property can be far more valuable than a company's physical assets. It can represent a competitive advantage and as a result is fiercely guarded and protected by the companies that own the property. Now, intellectual property can consist of many types of intangibles. Let's glance through some of those most common ones. A patent is a property right for an investor that's typically granted by a government agency, such as the US Patent and Trademark Office. The patent allows the inventor exclusive rights to the invention, which could be a design, process, an improvement, or physical invention, such as a machine. Technology and software companies often have patents for their designs. For example, the patent for the personal computer was filed in 1980 by Steve Jobs and three other colleagues at Apple Incorporation. Copyright provides authors and creators of original material the exclusive right to use, copy, or duplicate their material. Authors of books have their works copyrighted, as do musical artists. A copyright also states that the original creators can grant anyone authorization through a licensing agreement to use the work. A trademark is a symbol, phrase, or insignia that is recognizable and represents a product that legally separates it from other products. A trademark is exclusively assigned to a company, meaning the company owns the trademark so that no others may use or copy it. A trademark is often associated with a company's brand. For example, the logo and brand name of Coca-Cola is owned by the Coca-Cola Company. A franchise is a license that a company, individual, or party, called the franchisee, purchases, allowing them to use a company's name, trademark, proprietary knowledge, and processes. The franchisee is typically a small business owner or entrepreneur who operates the store. The license allows the franchisee to sell a product or provide a service under the company's name. In return, the franchisor is paid a startup fee and ongoing licensing fees by the franchisee. Examples of companies that use the franchise business model include United Parcel Service and McDonald's Corporation. Lastly, a trade secret is a company's process or practice that is not public information, which provides an economic benefit or advantage to the company or holder of the trade secret. Trade secrets must be actively protected by the company and are typically the result of a company's research and development. Examples of trade secrets could be a design, pattern, recipe, formula, or proprietary process. Trade secrets are used to create a business model that differentiates the company's offerings to its customers by providing a competitive advantage. It doesn't end here, there are some special considerations as well. Many forms of intellectual property cannot be listed on the balance sheet as assets since there aren't specific accounting principles to value each asset. However, the value of the property tends to be reflected in the price of the stock since market participants are aware of the existence of the intellectual property. Some intangible assets are recorded as property, such as patents, because they have an expiration date. These assets are recognized by a numerical value through the process of amortization. Amortization is an accounting method that decreases the value of an intangible asset, over a set period of time. This process helps the company to reduce their income by expensing a set amount each year for tax purposes as the useful life of the intangible asset wanes down. For example, a patent might only have 20 years before it's registered as public domain. A company would assign a total value to the patent. Each year for 20 years, the patent would be expensed or amortized by the same amount by dividing the total value by 20 years. Each year, the amortized asset amount would reduce the company's net income or profit for tax purposes. However, intellectual property that is considered to have a perpetual life, such as a trademark, is not amortized since it doesn't expire. Why don't we go through a real-world example of intellectual property? In 2017, there was a widely publicized intellectual property case in which a company called Waymo sued Uber over alleged stealing and implementation of technology relating to Waymo's self-driving car program. The plans for the technology, although not yet completely viable, constituted significant intellectual property for Waymo. When they alleged that Uber had obtained their intellectual property, they were able to take action through the court system to attempt to keep Uber from utilizing the information to enhance their own self-driving car program. Let us end the podcast with some fast facts about IP for startups and small businesses. Startups need to think about IP right from the beginning. Many startups still don't think about it until the horse has bolted. Businesses need to avoid leaking their IP rights. There are still companies, both large and small, that are disclosing their inventions and ideas, perhaps when discussing collaboration or standards with other companies or at exhibitions. A chance word at the wrong time could lead to serious losses. Startups need to have a full overview. While some startups may seek to apply for IP protection, it is not often from a full perspective of all the technical, legal, and commercial angles necessary. Inventors need to be IP cost aware. Don't assume you are automatically protected when you start to trade internationally. Each country has different processes and methods for protecting. PCT rule is compulsory for international patent filing. The Patent Cooperation Treaty is an international patent law treaty concluded in 1970. World patent is not possible. For better or for worse, there is no such thing as a worldwide patent. There is, however, something that approximates a worldwide patent application that can ultimately result in a patent being obtained in most countries around the world. So we have covered a lot of what there is to know about intellectual property. Before we wrap up, the key takeaways of this podcast are: intellectual property is an umbrella term for a set of intangible assets or assets that are not physical in nature. Intellectual property is owned and legally protected by a company from outside use or implementation without consent. Intellectual property can consist of many types of assets, including trademarks, patents, and copyrights. So that's all for this session. I hope you learned something if you were new to IP and polished your knowledge if you were already aware. Thank you for tuning in.